fraudulent dealings. This realization deeply unsettles her, and she understands that immediate action is necessary. If Mandira is not stopped soon, the consequences could become irreversible. Adding to her anxiety, Sayali begins receiving constant calls from dealers to whom she owes money, reminding her of the financial pressure closing in around her. In this difficult moment, Ria steps in as a source of strength. With Ria's encouragement, Sayali gathers the courage to fight back instead of surrendering to fear. After hearing the entire sequence of events, Ria bluntly tells Sayali that relying solely on legal methods will not be enough to expose Mandira's manipulation. She suggests that a clever and slightly mischievous plan is required to uncover the truth and turn the tables on Mandira. Acting on this idea, the group carefully designs a strategy. Juhi takes the first step by calling Mandira and skillfully manipulating the conversation. Through subtle questioning and calculated provocation, Juhi manages to make Mandira openly mention the word commission. This single word becomes crucial evidence, clearly indicating that Mandira takes illegal commissions instead of arranging fair deals for clients. The recording gives Sayali and Juhi the proof they desperately needed. With this evidence in hand, Sayali and Juhi rush to the studio where Ria works. After listening to the recorded call, Ria reveals an unexpected talent. She can imitate Mandira's voice with astonishing accuracy. Her flawless imitation leaves Sachin and Juhi completely stunned. Using this skill, Ria calls the program hall manager while pretending to be Mandira and follows the plan exactly as discussed. During the conversation, the manager unknowingly exposes how he colluded with Mandira to betray Sayali. His words confirm their corruption beyond any doubt. Once the call ends, Juhi contacts Mandira again and asks her to meet at a nearby Ganesh temple, claiming that the manager will also be present with the agreement papers. Mandira agrees, unaware of the trap waiting for her. When Mandira and the manager arrive at the temple, Sayali, Juhi, and Ria confront them together. Faced with the evidence and their direct accusations, Mandira is exposed. The owner of the program hall also arrives and quickly understands that his manager has been accepting bribes from other organizers. The manager desperately tries to defend himself, but the owner loses his temper and slaps him in anger. The manager is immediately fired from his job. The owner then turns to Mandira, scolding her harshly for her dishonest and manipulative behavior. Realizing his mistake, the owner returns all the money to Sayali and sincerely apologizes for the trouble she was put through. He assures her that she will now receive regular orders from his program hall, restoring her professional standing. Sayali firmly condemns Mandira for her petty conspiracies, while Mandira is warned to stay away from Sayali's work in the future. Meanwhile, Ria and Akash enjoy a peaceful and happy moment together at a restaurant. Neetu approaches them with an exciting offer, inviting them to participate in a couples game along with other pairs. Ria is thrilled by the idea and eagerly agrees. Back on the professional front, Sayali repays the moneylenders, leaving them surprised by her honesty and determination. Although they are shocked, they openly encourage her to continue growing her business. Sayali then meets Sachin and shares every detail of Mandira's conspiracy. Initially furious, Sachin soon recognizes Sayali's intelligence and bravery. His anger turns into pride as he realizes how skillfully she handled the situation. Sayali acknowledges Sachin's constant support, grateful for his faith in her. When Renuka learns of Sayali's success, jealousy fills her heart, while Sachin proudly celebrates his wife's achievement in public once again. The episode opens with Paresh being offered a mutton dish by the uncle of Vandana's fiancé. The family believes it to be a thoughtful gesture from a relative, completely unaware that the mutton has actually been sent by Sultan. The Deshmukh family remains ignorant of Sultan's true identity and his indirect involvement in their lives. At the same time, Roshni receives a phone call from her uncle Sultan, who warmly invites her to attend the wedding of his niece. However, before Roshni can respond properly, Tejas accidentally answers the call and overhears the wedding invitation. This unexpected moment leaves Roshni visibly unsettled. She immediately snatches the phone from Tejas and ends the call clearly disturbed by the conversation. To cover up her discomfort, Roshni lies to Tejas, claiming that she is upset with her uncle for being insensitive and arranging celebrations so soon after the death of her father. She adds that Sultan lacks emotional understanding during her time of grief. Although Tejas listens quietly, he begins to suspect that Roshni may be hiding something important from him. Realizing that Tejas's trust is slipping away, Roshni panics and understands that she must act quickly to regain his confidence. Meanwhile, a new twist unfolds when Mandira unknowingly arrives at Sachin's motor driving school to learn how to drive. She has no idea about Sachin's identity and is completely shocked when she discovers that he is Sayali's husband. Mandira is brought to the Deshmukh house, where Sachin and Sayali greet her politely and offer their help. However, Mandira remains suspicious and doubtful about Sachin's intentions. She questions whether he is capable of teaching her properly and refuses to believe their sincerity. Choosing to maintain hostility, Mandira angrily storms out of the Deshmukh house, firmly holding on to her resentment. Back to Roshni, who is desperately trying to win back Tejas's trust. She decides to do something dramatic and emotionally powerful to prove her love. Coincidentally, a tattoo artist arrives at their showroom offering special discounts. Seizing the opportunity, Roshni decides to get a tattoo of Tejas's name. Despite the pain involved, she bravely endures the process, determined to show Tejas how deeply she loves him. Tejas is moved by her willingness to go through such pain for his sake. Roshni emotionally declares that Tejas means everything to her and that all she desires is his constant love and trust. Her actions soften Tejas, and he gradually begins to believe her again, choosing to reconcile and put aside his doubts. After returning home, Tejas proudly reveals Roshni's tattoo to the rest of the family. The family members are thrilled and curious about the tattooing process. Roshni confidently expresses her devotion to Tejas, making it clear how important he is in her life. However, Sachin once again mocks Roshni, accusing her of exaggerating her relationship and putting on a dramatic display of love. Meanwhile, Riya admires the tattoo design and expresses her wish for her husband Akash to get her name tattooed as well. Akash, however, refuses, stating that he does not believe in expressing love through tattoos. Later, Roshni and Shikha decide to spend some quality time together at a cafe. Unexpectedly, Ajay, the man who cheated Tejas, enters the same cafe and sits behind Roshni. Upon noticing him, Roshni confronts Ajay and questions him aggressively about the stolen money. Sensing trouble, Ajay quickly escapes in an auto rickshaw, leaving Roshni helpless and frustrated. When she returns home, Roshni informs Tejas about the encounter. Unfortunately, Tejas has no concrete plan to catch Ajay red-handed, leaving both of them worried and uncertain about their next move. The episode opens with Roshni, who is confident that Ajay will soon be caught red-handed. Filled with hope, she returns home and shares every detail of her plan with her husband, Tejas. Tejas advises her to seek the help of Guruji, believing that his spiritual guidance might reveal Ajay's fraudulent activities. Acting on his suggestion, Roshni contacts Shakuntala and requests her assistance in arranging a meeting with Guruji. Although Roshni herself doubts whether Guruji will be able to expose Ajay, Tejas remains extremely optimistic and places his complete faith in the process. A few hours later, Shakuntala arrives at Tejas's house along with Guruji. Sachin immediately starts mocking Tejas for believing in such an idea and finds the whole situation amusing. However, everyone is asked to strictly follow the rituals prescribed by Guruji. Tejas obediently performs all the special rituals as instructed. Meanwhile, Sachin observes Guruji carefully, growing curious about whether the man truly possesses any spiritual power or is simply pretending. Suddenly, Guruji makes a shocking declaration, claiming that Ajay has already spent all the stolen money. This statement triggers laughter among Riya and Akash, who openly make fun of Guruji. Deeply insulted by their behavior, Guruji becomes furious and storms out of the house after taking the 3,000 rupees that were given to him. Shakuntala feels extremely embarrassed and apologetic toward Tejas for how things turned out. Sachin finds it hard to accept that an educated man like Tejas could fall for such superstitious beliefs. Later, Sachin discusses Tejas's foolish actions with Sayali, pointing out how Tejas often ends up creating unnecessary trouble with his impulsive decisions. Sachin also feels that Tejas is incapable of catching Ajay on his own. Unable to stay detached from the issue, Sachin and Sayali decide that they will personally investigate Ajay and expose his fraud, but only after Bhavna's wedding is over. That same evening, the Deshmukh family attends Bhavna's wedding ceremony. The entire venue is beautifully decorated, and everyone praises Sayali's creativity and effort in designing the decorations. The atmosphere is joyful and the guests enjoy the celebration to the fullest. Sultan also arrives at the wedding to attend his niece's marriage. Kishore warmly welcomes Paresh and his family and expresses heartfelt gratitude to Sachin and Sayali for organizing the wedding so efficiently. Despite Sultan moving freely among the guests, no one from the Deshmukh family manages to recognize him. Sachin takes a moment to admire Sayali's detailed and elegant work, appreciating her dedication. Meanwhile, Sultan personally carries a tray of coffee into the bride's room, where Roshni is busy doing the bride's makeup. The moment Roshni hears Sultan's voice, she becomes completely shaken. Panicked, she rushes out to check on the so-called uncle, but Sultan cleverly avoids being seen. Overjoyed, Sultan continues serving food to the guests himself. During the celebration, Sachin and Paresh scold Tejas for overeating. Even then, the Deshmukh family remains unaware of Sultan's identity. The episode ends with everyone admiring the beautiful floral garland crafted by Sayali for the bride. Episode ends.